fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone. So glad to be back after a little hiatus. You're here at Patriots Across the Pond and Friends, episode 57 with Stu and I, and we are so happy to welcome today Dr. Darrell WOLFE. Good morning, sir.
Good day. How are you?
Very well.
Great.
Very well. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Alicia's just had 10 days off holiday, gallivanting around Florida and stuff. And, I've sort of been scratching myself with what to do, but I've been keeping my busy, and this is our first day back. So lovely to have you on. I think Alicia's going to do a little intro.
Yes. Just let everybody have more details about you. So Dr. Darrell WOLFE has over 45 years of experience in advanced energy medicine, therapy, and psychology. He is a medical intuitive and is known as the Doc of Detox. Dr. Darrell WOLFE holds 2 doctorates in natural medicine, DNM, a doctorate in indigenous medicine, and 1 doctorate of humanitarian services, DHS, and is certified with the Board of Integrative Medicine. He is also professor and the director of the Brave Heart Nation World Healing and Training Movement. His philosophy is based on whole body healing because the psychological rules that creates the psychological rules and creates the biological. His teachings, trainings, and certifications have created a new paradigm, which has awoken the health industry to a total new direction. He created the renowned New World Practitioner Certification Program and its components, the World Life Health Certification, the WOLFE Non-Surgical Bodywork Certification, Braveheart Health and Healing Circle, and the Women's Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention Masterclass for Women. Wow.
Yes, that is a lot. And I believe, I don't know if you read this out, but he also holds a doctorate in acupuncture as well, which is on your website. So, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. You know, I just want to start with just this little very disturbing story that I heard over the weekend. And that we were out with friends that we hadn't seen in many years, and they were talking about another friend, and his wife has the gene. Okay, this is what they told us, for cancer. So she went and had a double mastectomy and was about to have her uterus removed. And I was completely appalled because these are somewhat awake people. And I couldn't believe that people would mutilate themselves when there's so much out there for them to understand how to heal themselves. So I think it's a great segue for you to start telling us more about what you do.
Well, first of all, there's no such gene, and that's the truth. And, I did a 1-a-day yesterday when I was getting on the plane, and it was that emergency care is a scam. Just know this, I am not alternative. I'm traditional. The work that I do has been around for thousands of years. The medical system's been around for about 130 years. And they are the alternative, and they're a piss ass poor alternative. You know, people don't deserve what they get, but if they're not going to do any research or take massive action and actually challenge everything out there, I mean, you know, think about this, okay? That woman who just had that mastectomy,
Double.
yeah, but that double mastectomy, the pain and the suffering she's going to go through to rebuild and then put implants in, okay, into that area. Do you know what implant? Do you know what all this surgery is going to cause? Cancer, because there is no cancer. There's no such thing. You can't prove to me there's cancer. There is no cancer. Understand, when we're born, we have 10,000, okay, cancer cells all throughout our bloodstream. They're there all the time. Cancer doesn't mutate. Infection and inflammation mutates. And this woman just went through stage 4 inflammation. That's the drama of surgery. It's going to leave tons of scar tissue, crystallization. The inflammation is going to pull tons of calcium from her ribs. So now she's got osteoporosis of her ribs. Then she's going to have these 2 foreign objects in there. They will cause cancer, these 2 foreign objects. So I hope she doesn't. I'm not saying this to scare her, but the reality is if you ever had a sliver in your finger, you know that it caused infection. Well, she doesn't have a sliver. She has these 2 objects that are foreign in her body. And meanwhile, she cut off her breast to a gene that does not cause cancer. It's not even true. It's not even true. They did a project called the Genome Project that cost hundreds of millions of dollars, taxpayers' dollars in the United States. And it was called the Genome Project, where they were going to prove that cancer was actually real, and that it was genetic, and that all diseases were genetic. Now, here's the thing. This is how pathetic this genetic thing is. They came out of it saying, well, there might be 3 rare ones that we think could be genetic. And guess what? There are no genetic diseases. It's epigenetic. It's what you think. It's what you drink. It's what you eat. It's your personality that isn't your personality, because we get our personalities from 0 to 7 when we have no filter, and everything that comes in, we believe it to be true, and then we live that out. Think about it. So fear is what they sell us. Okay, we're always going to be at war on this planet with ourselves, with each other, okay, and with other countries. And understand that's how they create us to become slaves, because we're at war with our bodies. Most people think that pain is something that you need to kill. No, pain is a GPS, and your body's saying you are not in alignment. You do not know how to love, honor, and respect yourself. Let me tell you something. Dr. Otto Warburg received the Nobel Prize for discovering the cause of cancer. And do you know what that is? It's lack of electrical conductivity and oxygen. That's it. Cancer does not mutate, okay? And understand this. Twice as many people get cancer from chemotherapy and biopsies than just in regular walking through life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've heard a lot recently about it's the actual biopsy that it breaks the tumor and stuff like that, and allows the whatever to seep around the body. So
well, you're pulling the pin in the grenade when you do a biopsy. And remember something, cancer doesn't spread. You're just every pimple to a tumor. Every lump and bump you have in your body is being created to store the poisons, because you don't know better. And when you don't know better, you're going to create fat, cellulite, visceral fat, your pimples, okay, cysts, tumors, warts. I mean, I could keep going. All of these are just storage sheds for a society that has been sold a really bad story. And that story is called science. You ever notice something? You're either into health or you're into science. And if you're into science, you're not into health, because science changes all the time. And the whole basis of science when it comes to health is all built on a fraudulent lie. And I can prove it. I can prove that heart disease is not caused because of plaque. I can prove that stroke is not caused because of plaque. I can prove that cancer doesn't exist. It's only stage 4 inflammation and infection that spreads through your body.
I've just had a comment in here from Carol. She said, can you ask Dr. Wolfe about psychosomatics? Because Carol's she's got a healing centre down in Costa Rica. Absolutely beautiful woman she is. And we've had her on the show a few times.
Well, I like I said earlier, the invisible creates the physical. Okay. The psychological rules the biological. So if you can actually teach people that they are not their beliefs, they're not their beliefs. And even though your beliefs make up your personality creates your reality. And just know this, I'll be 70 in 2 months. And I haven't had a cold or a flu in probably 25 years. I will never have a disease, and it doesn't matter how much they try to poison us, whether it's the chemtrails or right now in the United States. Did you know that they did a huge study? Only 1% of the food is edible in the supermarket. So where does that tell you? First of all, just know this: America's going down. America's rotting out from the inside out. But the reality is they're rotting out from the inside out because most of my friends and family have picked something to hate, something to point the finger at. As long as you're pointing the finger at someone, as long as you're hating someone, you are the disease.
Well said. So tell us, go ahead.
Just go into your history, really, of your awakening and your, how early did this all start for you, discovering that something wasn't
17 when my grandfather got bowel cancer, and then he was in the hospital for 12 days without a bowel movement, and then bringing him home at the age of 17 with my mother and having to pick the fecal waste out just to get him to do a bowel movement. And once he had his bowels moving, he still passed away from it, but he wasn't in pain anymore. So yeah, just understand something. And everybody needs to get this. We had a chance to be high vibrational beings in the universe, and we really screwed it up again. We allowed them to poison us on all levels, and the biggest thing is that we don't have enough value or love and respect for ourselves. If a person were to totally love, honor, and respect themselves, they wouldn't let any of this stuff go down. Everything is about vibration and frequency, and you are only going to get what you feel you deserve. And most people will never get what they deserve. I mean, all the love and all the abundance on all levels, because people don't realize they've been programmed by a Rockefeller, Rothschild schooling, and that most religion keeps you in guilt. I mean, I've never seen somebody who believes they're a sinner heal very quick. And if they did, it only came back. You're either going to free yourself up and be an enlightened being, or you're going to be a low vibrational one. That's why 99% of the population has parasites in America. You can do all the parasite cleanses you want, but until you know what a perfect day looks like on an emotional, nutritional, and physical level, then you're always going to have parasites. We don't eat them. We actually create parasites. Parasites are made in our body because we're decomposing. They're in there to eat the decomposing tissue. Everybody thinks parasites cause cancer. They think people think a lot of things, but that's because they're told what to think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so 17 was a very interesting number, but that was a pivotal time. So then where did you go from there? Did you feel at that point you needed to kind of get to the root of what was really the truth?
Well, no, I don't know. I didn't know what the truth was. I just knew the lie.
Yeah.
I didn't know the truth. And guess what? I don't think I really knew the truth until I was in my 30s, because what they do is they take this puzzle called the truth, and then they throw the pieces to 4 corners of the earth, and they go, let's see if you can find all the pieces before you leave. Okay. So remember something. And this is what I teach. Like, I do really deep emotional, nutritional training. Like, I do and you know what? And people think I'm cocky, but I'm the only one that gives a money back guarantee on my treatments, my courses, my certifications, my consults. I do it all because I have to. You know why? Because we're a new paradigm. Because I do a course called Whole Life Health Certified. It's only 9 days, and I guarantee you I teach more truth, strategy, in that 9 days than you'll get in 4 years becoming a naturopathic doctor. And I tell it, I on my show on Braveheart Nation TV, I say all the time, come on and challenge me. Doctors, government official, I don't care who you are, naturopath, chiropractor, understand something, okay? You know, if the natural health industry was so brilliant, then people wouldn't be so sick. Most of the stuff that we go to, even in natural health, is so superficial and watered down. And you know what? Functional medicine doctors aren't functional. Naturopathic doctors crossed the line a long time ago. Unless you're teaching your patients to become their own practitioners, then guess what? You're fraud. And if you don't teach them that there is no different food groups, just high vibrational food, and what a high vibrational food is, what a high vibrational lifestyle is, what high vibrational thoughts are. Okay, how about letting yourself off the hook for everything that the church told you were a sinner? How about letting yourself off the hook for every judgment that your family and the world tries to do all the time? Because just coming down to this life-threatening adventure, you should get a Braveheart Heroes badge.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of us that have been awake for a long time, and Elisa and I have been awake about the same amount of time, really, over 20 years. But it was since the arrival of COVID and the whole lockdown debacle and stuff, that is the time that people that have been awake to the truth and trying to find out what's going on for a long time, that is when we really started looking at our own health, you know, about keeping ourselves in a higher vibration and living in love, not fear, and getting out into nature and distilling our water and various other things we've been doing, not to use fluoride in our toothpaste, etc., etc., etc. You know, that's the main thing we've learned.
Well, COVID was the litmus paper test, and we failed it.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
we failed it, and that's why they would have never moved. They would have never moved forward with all this rest of this agenda. They said, "Look, if these dumbasses fall for this, we can go for anything," because, you know, first of all, there is no such thing as a virus. Okay, virus just means poison, and poisons aren't alive. They can't jump, they can't skip, they can't swim. And then the 6-foot rule was only because the heart puts out an energy field of 6 feet, and they didn't want us. They wanted to dehumanize us. It was never about transgender. It was about transhumanism, because why do we need so many humans? And that's the whole rule. The reality is all you got to do is just go to a mall at 1 o'clock and you can see that 70% of the population in the United States is leaving. Okay. Leaving. Okay. People are in such bad shape right now, and everybody's gotten used to it. Just like how, you know, if you take a look at it, the overweight and the obese now run America. Okay. If you want to go for a walk anywhere, you're going to see that people aren't overweight. They're just rotting out. Their large intestine, which holds 85% of your immune system, because, you know, we're all about the bacteria. Meanwhile, they're teaching us to kill our bacteria. So everything is so upside down and inside out right now that unless you are awake, unless you are making conscious choices based on unconditional love for yourself and for the rest of the planet, this is going to be a really bumpy ride.
Yeah, I totally agree, 100%. Lisa?
Yeah, well, I actually had a question for you because I think at the heart of what you said was so true about how we don't love ourselves and we don't put that love out. I mean, it's very simple, right? I mean, Nikola Tesla said everything you want to know about the universe is just all about vibration and frequency. But it's easier to say than it is to live, right? A lot of things are.
Well, that's why I teach a course on it. Unless you're going to go to brainwash boot camp, you can kiss your butt goodbye.
Yeah. So my question is, how do people start? Obviously, you have a place where people can start, but maybe for whatever reason, they have to start off a little slower. How do they start to embrace that mindset?
Everything in life should be done in baby steps.
Yeah.
If you made a 1% change every day, where would you be in 100 days?
The compound effect, right?
Well, you'd be 100%. Now you start all over, because the human spirit is actually infinite, eternal, and it has unlimited potential. And we've lost that. So you know, this is called a Braveheart love band. See it? It says 3, 2, 1, I got this. Well, guess what? If you were to snap this, and that is a kiss, and this is snug as a hug, okay? So it's snug as a hug. And the reality is I'm going to snap myself back. What if you snapped yourself back into the present moment all day long, and you didn't go dumpster diving anymore about any type of regret and what you should have done, could have done? And what if you weren't always in the future of fear because the world's ending? The world's not ending. And guess what? If you have any fear going on, then you are not strategizing. So you're either strategy or you're a tragedy. And only 1 out of 1,000 people today are strategy. The other 999 are tragedy. Okay, so it's called action, reaction, action, reaction. Most people just don't connect to their breath. If you, every time that you felt any emotion, negative emotion, come, which is more than positive,
Right.
when you feel it coming, if you just shut your mouth, don't open your mouth, don't take action, breathe in 3 seconds and 4 seconds out 3 times, snap your love band. I got this. That's the old me. There's a new sheriff in town. Guess what? 90% of your brain is your subconscious. And your subconscious was actually programmed by the Rockefellers, if you're, and by the Rothschilds, if you're in Great Britain, by the Rockefellers, if you're in America. And the reality is that you think for them, you work for them, whether you want to believe it or not. We all think we have choices because we can move around freely, but we're not moving around freely in here. And that's the only place. The subconscious is okay, your brain, we give it too much credit. It dumps hormones, chemicals, and it's a computer, and it runs programs. And most of the programs are bad programs that you learn from 0 to 7. And if you're not going to change those programs, then guess what? You're not going to change. So that's where you want to get to. I have what's called BraveheartNationApp.com. It's the largest self-care, self-love app in the world. It's free. I put $1 million into it. And in this app, you can download the present moment. You put it on your phone. And guess what? It's a nice little bong, like just a bowl sound. And it's very light. Now, what if that went off every 5 minutes? Just light. It's not going to disturb anybody or you. And every time it went off, you went, where am I? Am I in the present moment? Am I strategizing? Am I pivoting? Because if you're not strategizing and pivoting right now with all these psychos, okay, government psychos, then, you know, you're lost. So every time it goes off, every 5 minutes, am I in the present moment? Am I living my passion? Am I living my purpose? Did I just believe that the world's ending? Did I just believe we're going to war? None of this is any of your business. If everybody were to mind their own business, love, honor, and respect themselves, there wouldn't be a war. These are all bankers' wars, and you know it. You know, you could be, if you want to be a patriot that doesn't show up to one, okay? And show up for yourself, okay? And stop the war inside your head that you're not good enough, that you didn't do this, you didn't do that, okay? That nobody loves me. You know, it's hard to make money. Remember something, everybody, and this is really important. I've got 25 years of psychology behind me. And the reality is this: my day, my life, my body is only based on the prominent, dominant thoughts that I run in my subconscious, which is only a computer. It doesn't care if your beliefs are killing you or healing you. It's just there to run programs. Isn't it kind of funny? A computer that runs programs runs 98% of our day. So if you didn't hand pick and create every one of the prominent, dominant programs, then you're a slave and you don't even know it. That's my bottom line.
Oh, definitely. I mean, one of the things I've taught myself the most over this last 6 years, especially, is I've learned to completely combat and eradicate fear and negativity out of my life. If anything comes, even if I'm asleep and I'm having a sort of like a nightmare comes in, something like that, I've learned how to tell it to go away, you know, and it's great. I've got a great life. You know, it's frustrating at times watching what's going on as we watch this all play out. Yes.
Oh, you lost you. So
I lost you for about 30 seconds.
Yeah,
You're probably talking about me and saying nasty things.
Well, you'll have to watch it back and see.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that it's frustrating at times watching what's going on, but Elisa and I have looked into this a lot, and many others do, about this cure operation, all these other things, and there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than what people watch, especially if they're watching the news or terrestrial channels and all this other stuff. So we're watching it all unfold. But yeah, that's love, not fear, people. That is, you can't give better advice than that, really, can you?
I took 2 years, and I went down the rabbit. I've been going down the rabbit hole since I was 17. After that, what happened in the hospital? You just go. You go down the rabbit hole, and then you get frustrated, you get angry, and then you wake up, and then you go, oh, wait a minute here. It's just a fun-filled, life-threatening game here, where we come here and we lose ourselves, and then we need to find ourselves, and that's how we rock the world. And so I created what was called a documentary that's going to be released here in the next couple months, escapethematrixmovie.com. And in 3 hours, I've simplified it for everyone. At the end of it, we can't get angry. At the end of it, we have to remember. That's all we need to do. We have to remember what we truly are, okay, and why we're truly here. And once you remember that, and you really start becoming more centered into yourself, it's not called selfish. And we've been told that, actually focusing on ourselves is selfish. And everybody walks around injured, hurt people. And that's all people are doing right now. They're hurting. So they're hurting each other. So the reality is this: unless you're going to let yourself completely off the hook and have unconditional love for yourself and others, this next, I believe that it could happen anytime. And I'm not a psychic, but I have been pretty on for the last 15 years. I believe, but by 2029, we will be in the worst economic situation ever in the history of this planet. And it's all being orchestrated on purpose, because, it's like only once every 250 years that you totally crash whatever the currency is and then bring in a new one.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've heard there's been many resets in the past, haven't we? So, a lot of us looking into it, and we believe the good guys and the bad guys all want a financial crash of some sorts. Well,
I think the good guys and the bad guys are the same guys. So whatever. The reality is that, we've just got to find out what we love and stay focused on it and mind our own business. I mean, think about it. Think about all the time and energy that people are putting into, okay, this whole charade right now that's going on. I mean, if you're looking at all the things that are going sideways on the planet, then you don't have a life right now. That's the greatest soap opera ever, and that person who's not minding their own business, okay, on a personal level and on a financial level, they're going to be in big trouble, and especially your health. Every time that you buy into the end of the world scenario, you're dumping cortisol, histamine, adrenaline, which is hack, and you are making yourself more acidic, and then getting the so-called critical autoimmune diseases. Like, most people don't know this, but do you know that 98% of all physical illness is due to a bowel problem, your large intestine, pooping into your bloodstream, and it's called leaky gut. And people don't even know that. I did a documentary called America's Rotting Out from the Inside Out. You go watch that. It's 2.5 hours. And then you'll have a lot more respect for your large intestine if you want to stay healthy.
Wow. So I have a psychological question, because I know from what you said, right, a lot, it's got what we're telling ourselves, what we're believing, how we're living. So you said that, and we've all heard kind of this, even if you didn't study psychology, like from 1 to 7 is when you're sort of set, because there are no filters and you believe.
It's actually, love, I don't want to correct you, but it's 0. As soon as you enter the womb,
yeah,
okay, while you're in the womb, that is the biggest time of all. Okay. So you may not understand English, but you understand vibration. And if
Yes.
the vibration is not based on unconditional love, then you're going to find the baby having one foot on either side of the vaginal canal, not wanting to come out, or wrapping the umbilical cord around its neck because it's scared and it wants to do itself in. You know, we're very clueless about what life really is. And yeah, and you have to understand this. There's an entity on this planet that has taught us to disrespect ourselves, disrespect pregnancy, disrespect relationships. I mean, where does it begin? Where does it end?
Yeah. No, it is. So what do you believe the like is the theory or the best thing? Like, you know, we hear a lot of times like if you have trauma, whatever happens as a child, and that energy does that energy get stored? Do you need to release it? Should you release it? Like, you know, sometimes, like, I know I've gone through periods in my own life where for no reason, I just feel like I need to cry. I just need to have a release. Is there something to that when it comes to the healing process and then being able to focus
Okay.
on yourself in that loving
Yeah,
way?
I do a lot of intervention for, especially for teenagers and young adults that are suicidal.
Okay.
And let me just tell you this much, okay? If you are crying about something, you should only be doing it, you know, maybe 2 to 3 times. If you're still crying about the same thing, then you're insane. And most people are crying about the same thing over and over again. It's like Groundhog Day. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's the deal. So just understand this. Almost everybody had an abusive, emotional, physical upbringing. And that's because the parents had it. So it's called the family curse.
Oh, we just lost your
Just
sound.
Right.
Just go
When
back.
somebody comes, okay, I said that, where was I here? I said that,
The family curse.
yeah, the family curse is this. You're either the family blessing or the family curse. And understand, if I can back it up just a teeny bit. So just know this, and no disrespect to anybody out there. But when you finished school, you didn't know how to eat. You didn't know how to feed yourself, less a child. You didn't know how to love yourself, less another human being. You didn't know how to do a business. You didn't know how to do anything. It's just like 12 years waste of time. That's what it is. And it's all BS. So the reality is now you knew how to get your pants off. So now you knew how to bring a spirit into the world, but you didn't know how to emotionally, physically, nutritionally look after this new spirit. And so we're screwed from the very beginning. By the time you realize your mistakes, the child is already a teenager. And so the baby comes in and it's unconditional love. It's born and it's unconditional love. It can spit on you, it can poo on you, it can keep you up all night. Okay, you're just gonna love it. Once it starts walking and talking like you and your partner, because that's, well, who else is gonna act like? So whether it has a tantrum or whether it's got unconditional love, it got it from you and your partner. So, or you and your husband or wife. And the reality is this, that you should be going, oh my God, thank you so much for the teaching. But we don't. We spank it. We put it in the room. Nobody's going to love you if you act like that. Well, why? What do you think? They're acting like you, for God's sakes. So we failed that litmus paper test. Okay. So the reality is now that child wakes up to one fact, that I need to be a chameleon. I need to do whatever I need to do to get love from others because I was just told that I'm unworthy to love. And so now we go through life like this unless you're going to remember that you are a beautiful spirit. And then when you get down here, you're programmed to actually be a low vibrational one. Nobody has parasites physically unless you vibrate at the level of a parasite with your choices. That's the truth. But most people can't even see that. Okay. So the reality is this, we go through life not believing we don't deserve love. Who would love me? Okay. I don't even love myself, for God's sakes. So it's really messed up. And I don't think it's ever going to change. But the one thing that we can do is look at, I came back into the business about 20 years ago, right? But I retired 25 years ago for 5 years. I came back and I said, whatever I'm going to do, if I come back this time, it's going to teach people to go from a victim to a hero, from a patient to their own doctor. Okay. All right. To their own lover, where they fill up their own heart and they don't walk around desperate and getting secondhand love. And that's the deal. So the reality is this. No, we're in big trouble right now because people have been lied to. They've been promised, okay, you could have a good life if you did this, this, and this, and you all did the right things. You all did what they said, and no, you didn't have that. So here's the deal. I made what's called BraveheartHeroesContract.com. It's a 30-day thing, and you go in there and you rewrite all your contracts and all your rules. People aren't going to like this, and I don't care. All right. I got rid of the 10 commandments. I only have one: unconditional, universal love for myself and everybody else on this planet. And I will not sit in judgment of anyone. And guess what? There's a whole bunch of is's out there. There's always going to be war. We're always going to think we need to go and kill the other guy and go to this country. And all we're doing is the work for the governments and the bankers. That's all. I mean, understand this. Nobody's been attacking my family in the United States. Nobody. That was all made up. And then there was one attack, 9/11, and that we did that one ourselves. So let's just stop the bullshit. Okay, there's enough. And understand this. Everybody out there, you should, whatever you think you're guilty of, you get yourself off the hook and you get into the present moment and you totally unconditionally love yourself. Because if you think that there's a God up there with a gray beard, 1 minute loves you, doesn't love you, then you're psycho, because there's only a frequency that is so powerful, it's creating universes, but you actually think it's judging you whether or not, you played with yourself when you were 7 years old or 8 years old, or you stole from the candy store when we were put into survival the minute we got here. So I'm telling everyone out there that if right now that which created the universe has never judged you, it's only man-made. Okay, man is not kind.
You're muted again.
Man is a manipulator, and man is not kind. Manipulate. They have to tell us everything that they're doing to us. And that's what they do through the movies, through the media. And understand something. If they didn't believe we weren't so powerful, then they wouldn't have poisoned 99% of all the food in the supermarket, put graphene into the skies, graphene into the drinking water. Bill Gates wouldn't be allowed to walk around, but the entity that runs this planet, he will never be taken to task, because guess what? He's protected, and nobody gets this. You all think that somebody's going to be taken to task. Nobody's been taken to task. You need to mind your own business, love, honor, and respect yourself first and foremost, and then do everything you do, pick it in a high vibration and write down what you want in your life and go for it. Shut your mouth, mind your business. The whole thing is just a soap opera so that you can remain a slave.
Okay, I mean, forget diet and everything at the moment. There's a lot of people with emotional problems, and we need to get them out of it. A lot of people taking antidepressants and all these things. Some people have suffered bad childhood and stuff. What is the best advice you can give?
First of all, everybody
out of this.
Well, first of all, let's make something really clear. My childhood was no more dramatic than yours, and yours no more dramatic than me. And guess what? Most of the adults that are adulterated have told this.
Oh,
he's getting a lot of calls coming in, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay, so we'll just make him go back. Just, can you go back like about 20 seconds? Because we lost you. Most of the adults you said that were adulterated.
Okay, so here it is. No, all adults are adulterated. All adults are adulterated. I was adulterated. Everybody's adulterated. And understand this. The person that says they had I had the worst upbringing of anybody. Well, yeah, because you told yourself that story over and over again. And you went to somebody who said, let's go back in your past and let's talk about everything and get it out into the open. So guess what? That person was made to dumpster dive and eat yesterday's leftover meal for 30 years. So guess what? Most of the story isn't even true. So why don't you go to your beatings and your abuses and then ask your brother and sister, and they'll go, no, that was me. No, it didn't happen like that. Because everybody has a different perception. If you're not willing to let go and forgive, I'm not telling you to go to the sexual abuser. From 8 to 12, I was sexually abused. And understand, by the time I was 19, I gave it up. I wasn't dirty. I'm not a cripple. I'm not living with this. Who gives a crap? Okay, so he went down on me, right, a few times, right, when I was a little kid. The reality is I'm going to rise and I'm going to rock this thing, and I'm going to make that thing make me even braver and stronger. And that's the reality. It either breaks you or it makes you. And so I'm telling you right now, if somebody comes to me, they're allowed to tell me their whole terrible story, and then I'm going to tell them that none of it matters. If they can't find forgiveness within themselves totally and forgive the person who really did wrong you, but I didn't say welcome them back in your house, hug them, kiss them. You focus on, look at, if I go to a buffet, am I going to eat everything? No. So you don't need to focus on everything. And the next thing, if I go to a buffet, I'm going to focus on what's good for me, what's healthy for me. But when it comes to our brains, we focus on everything toxic and traumatic. And the reality is your subconscious wants to protect you. So it'll always let you tell the trauma story to remind you that you need to be safe. But the reality is we carry that story all the way through and we ruin our lives. Let me tell you something. There wouldn't be divorce. There wouldn't be all of this garbage if you would have worked on yourself. When we fall in love with someone, we're seeing something within inside of ourselves. But the older you get, whatever you feed gets bigger. So if you don't understand the unconscious, subconscious beliefs that have always been tripping you up, you can't see them. When somebody says, did you see the way you just talked to me? I always talk to you like this. That's right. You can't see yourself. So this is why people need to go to brainwash boot camp and get their coconut cracked and take a look at the menu and decide what they don't want to order anymore. Well, if you only ordered what was in your highest good and that which you call God loved you and said to you, guess what? I am going to give you only what you focus on, not what you deserve. I am only going to give you what you focus on. So when you focus on hell, devil, evil, okay, nobody loves me. Money's hard to make. I'm just trying to pay my bills. The world is cruel. I will help you reinforce those beliefs and understand that, because then you're going to go, that's not true. God loves us. God doesn't love us. That what you call God is so high vibrational. It's way past love. Love is a toxic ingredient down here. And understand something. It's what you do with love. It's love. Oh, cut the bullshit. Okay. We're either have unconditional love for ourselves and others. Okay. And we are living the best life, or we're going around judging ourselves, downing ourselves all the time, and we're being hurt. So then we hurt others. Yeah. Look at the whole thing is bullshit, layer on layer on layer. So I am never going to get into any soap opera again, political, governmental, or even medical, because medical's got nothing to do with healthcare. There's no health, there's no care. But I have to sit there and listen to somebody on how they've been abused and how they keep on going for tests. Did you ever notice something? The people that go for the most tests are the sickest emotionally and physically. The people that go for the most tests are the most crippled, because guess what? Your body's always adjusting. That bacteria, that cancer cell, your body's getting rid of it. But if you just made high vibrational choices and said, there's no 4 food groups. There's only one, high vibrational food. There's no people I want to be around except high vibrational people that are minding their own business, people that are actually focused on their dreams, their passion, their purpose, and going, I got this. Lori and I, we take a look every day and we go, okay, here's the psycho government, what it's doing. Okay, here's the psycho people, what they're going to do, because the majority is always wrong. Just know that. The majority has always been wrong. And then we go, what do we need to do today to pivot and give it to have the best life? Because guess what? If you if you want to fit in, you're going to get done in. And the majority have always been wrong. So the minority, okay, which are the people that minded their own business, and they'll rock through this whole 5 years.
Yeah. So let me just ask you, if you were going to a buffet, right, and you had one table of everything you should be eating and another table of everything you shouldn't be eating, what would be on those tables?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't even see the table of what I shouldn't be eating. I'll never focus on anything that isn't higher vibrational than what I am already. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. First of all, just know this. The whole carnivore or whole plant-based keto diet, didn't you notice that everything is at war with something? So, just let everybody know this, and everybody willing to stand up for meat. No, vegetarian. No, but vegetarians aren't really healthy because they just don't have to eat animals, and they can eat all fake stuff they want. And then you've got the carnivore, which will eat too much animal protein. That's why kidney disease is going through the roof. That's why trapped protein particles. I mean, the Atkins diet was back when I was around 21. And by the time I was 30, everybody said, oh my God, we got to back off on the protein. And we saw all the fallout from that. So understand, we could live completely without carbs. We don't need any carbs. Carbs are not needed in the body. So protein is, but a whole plant-based keto diet. And that means vegetable protein. People don't get it. I have what's called DOD selfcarecure.com. DOD selfcure.com. Sorry. DOD selfcure.com. If you download that and I were to put you on 6 to 10 days of just watermelon, it would change your whole life. Okay. And then we have or a grape cure or do an advanced water fast for 10 days. You'll see miracles happen. You'll reverse the irreversible. The reality is that people are snackers, they're eaters. People are eating themselves to death. So I only one meal a day. Okay. I eat like a blender drink of, let's say today I'll go out and get a blender drink. And the blender drink will be probably 3 to 4 raw eggs. It will be strawberries organic. It will be coconut milk or water, but it has pure. If I can't get that, it'll just be water. And then I'll blend that up. I'll put black gold in it. I'll put some C60 in it, some Ormus minerals. There. That's what I'll do around 1 o'clock. Okay. And then I'm just going to go have a salad tonight. Might have some beans in it. Or I might do quinoa, which is for weight volume, has 10 times more protein than steak does. And understand something. How many dead animals do you have to eat to get well? All right. So there's no vibration, no frequency in meat. I'm not telling you not to eat it, but we all need to understand something. I didn't know what to do, so I ate everything. Okay. So remember this, when you look at food, ask yourself, will this cleanse me? Will this heal me? Will this bring nutrition in? But the main thing you need to ask yourself is how much light and how much frequency is in the food, because everything leaves. Everything you ever drank, everything you ever ate left your body. The only thing that stayed behind was the light and the frequency. That's like when you get the sun, when you go out in the sun and you have no clothes on, you're a solar panel, okay, that you're getting all nutrition, all of it. That's why they don't want you in the sun, okay? So what we have to understand is this: everything is vibration and frequency. Eat a donut. How do you feel? You got 4 inches of pleasure, and then you got 30 feet of hell. Okay. And you feel like the hole in the middle because there's no nutrition in it. Remember, people are starving today, not because they're not eating. It's because they're not getting nutrition. When you get nutrition, the right type of nutrition, it's a frequency. It shuts off your hunger. So understand, when people are trying to fill themselves, and remember what I said, 99% of all food, this is true. This is not BS now. 99% of all food in the supermarket is actually got graphene in it, and it's processed. Okay. It's got glyphosate in it, and sugar has 66 different names. So even when you buy something, and it doesn't say any sugar, but then it's 66 different names. It could be in there 3 times, but it's actually number 1. So understand here, everything that was illegal 50 years ago is now legal. It is now legal. It is now legal for a corporation and the government to murder its own people. I don't care what people think, because people don't think. And now they're coming for everyone. And the reality is, if you shop at a supermarket, you're going down. And then you're going to go, well, where do I go? Well, just know this, that every mega city was built to end civilization. And you can think I'm a drama queen, but just go. I mean, come on. We denatured ourselves. I mean, we're talking about blue light. Like, I've got Tesla glasses on right now. Blue light is more poisonous than 5G. And everybody just looks right into it. And people will buy blue blockers that don't work. So you have to understand, the world is a setup, and the only real game going on in town is for you to remember, you to find your authentic self. There it is. For you to remember, find your authentic self, and have unconditional love for yourself, and mind your own business. And you are here to be happy. You are here to be healthy, but you are here to vibrate really high, because this whole universe is built on, it's a PlayStation game. You ever see your kids play PlayStation and they die and then they start all over? Well, guess what? Don't die unless you find yourself and you remember what you are. You were created by God Almighty, so let's act like it.
Yeah, very well said. Unless people can get in the right mindset, diet and all these things are secondary, aren't we? I mean, we should all be out in the sunshine. They're trying to put sun cream over everyone. They're telling people to wear sunglasses, and all this stuff. And it's just, you have to do everything in moderation, but you have to take care of yourself mentally, physically, mindfully, especially.
I'm going to tell you something. And this is not me trying to pitch, but I think the next 3 years are going to be pretty difficult. And then I think we'll see the biggest crash that nobody's lived through before within 3 years. And so we have a course called Whole Life Health Certified, and I've never done it before, but I'm doing it for a reason. So we're actually doing it 2 for 1. Like, when somebody buys one, they can bring their husband, their wife, their child. And then, we're renting big halls now to try to get as many people in there as possible. I just want to tell you this. I don't care what you learn, but until you love yourself, you're going to continually burn. And that means that you never judge again. No matter what the world said you just did, you sit, you observe, you learn, you grow. If you're going to judge, you're going to be putting yourself in an invisible jail, and you're never going to be there. Whether people want to believe this or not, this is my belief. My belief is yes, I am a spirit being. I am eternal. But guess what? I am in kindergarten as a spirit being in the universe, because anything that eats and poos isn't that high vibrational. Okay, so let's make that perfectly clear. And the reality is I have to earn the right to move upward in the universe. And I really believe that the majority of the my apologies.
Yeah,
I believe that the majority of the population is not going to move up the frequency ladder, because they actually believe their government, they believe in religion. And you know what? I'm not angry that I went to school and most of it was a waste of time. But the reality is, if you actually knew you were eternal, you'd go, okay, I get the game. I'm awake now. I'm no regrets about nothing. What can I learn from that? Well, I can make sure that I teach every child that if they didn't go to school and they only lived their passion and purpose, and they could read, write, and do math, okay, that's all they need to do, they would rock their world. And every government official can go to hell where they came from. And the reality is that most of them are just CPUs. They don't think. They're just robotic in the government. So God loved them anyway. but the reality is, you know what? Either you're awake or you're not awake. And I'm going to tell you that, you know, I have been attacked by the government and by the largest media in the United States 3 times, where they've tried to destroy my business. But they're not after me. They'd like to destroy my message, but they're after the low-hanging fruit, the person that goes to the corner store, that vapes, that thinks they need to drink to be fun or have fun, you know, that is going to eat packaged food, that doesn't understand that there is no such thing as a virus. It's never been isolated. And now here we go again. So the reality is I've got to say this. I'm a spirit being. And I mean, come on. If you can't see the game, okay, and how, think about the things that you put your time and your energy into and how exhausted you feel. You should have more energy if it's meant to be for you. And if it gives you a headache, if it exhausts you, oh God, what a day. You know, I can remember when I first got married and we're having kids, you know, I was so programmed. My wife would say, so how are you? Oh, I had a hell of a day. You know, I couldn't say my day was great. I'm just glad to be home. I love you so much. No, I had to complain about how much I struggled for my family because my father could never tell us. He could only tell us on how he struggled for us all the time. So I did the same thing. How about we start being Braveheart heroes?
Yeah, here. So how much pushback have you experienced over, I think like Elisa's just disappeared, she had a problem there. How much pushback have you had from the establishment, etc.?
The best one was 4 years ago where they accused me of murdering 3 people.
Do you want to go into that a bit?
Well, I moved out of America and went down to Mexico 5 years ago. Because I moved down 5 years ago because Lori and I, you know, the struggle was too hard to try to get food. We couldn't find healthy food. Like, you know, when you buy an organic watermelon and it has no seeds, well, it's not organic. That's GMO and it has no nutrition in it. Okay. So the reality is it's all ridiculous. Organic is a fraud. Okay. So and why do people have to pay more money to not have poison on their food? So America's gone to hell in a basket. Okay. So we moved down to Mexico and we went to a place called Ixtapa, and that's where we are right now. We have what's called 5-star healing resort down there. And but when we first opened up, we opened up in a 220 room place. And this was during COVID when I moved down there. So that place was open 70% of the time. I had like 12 to 15 practitioners. So and you have to understand something. I show right online with my videos. Like I was just in Miami, a lady with a tumor 2 inches by 2 inches. And I reduced that tumor in 26 minutes with cell-sonic regeneration. And with my elbow using WOLFE non-surgical, I reduced it to about a half an inch. So, you know, and the whole thing is a scam, like fibroids, tumors, all a big scam, cysts, they're all a scam. But anyways, so I did that. So I'm still doing my stuff. And I tell them, I say, come on my show if you want. You know, NBC wanted me to come on there, what, was it a year and a half ago? And stand up for myself about this accusation that we murdered 3 people by using natural therapies. So the reality is if I murdered 3 people, then I should. What I did was, as soon as they accused me, every time I'd come and do lectures and my trainings throughout the States or come and visit my family, I have a big platform. I'd go on there and go, I'm coming, I'll be lecturing here, bring the police. Okay. All right. So nobody gets away with murdering unless you're somebody like Bill Gates or protected by the entity. So they've never, ever come to arrest me because it was never true. But if you go online and you take a look, it says, you know, scammer steals money from people. Meanwhile, I've got the biggest app in the world that's free. I wrote a guide that's 600 pages on how to just heal your family. It's free. It's called Perfect Day Guide, pdgfree.com. Almost everything I do is free. Nobody follows me. because I don't want followers. We want leaders. If we don't have leaders, we're screwed. And a leader means that you take my information and then you become your authentic self and you turn it into yours and you do better than me. So we teach all the people that come to our courses, whether it's whole life health certified, WOLFE non-surgical certified, that they need to be better practitioners than us. Take all our information and go out there and rock it, because it's about becoming human again. And becoming human again means that you are unconditional love, and that you will love yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help you God. And that's it. You know what? If you want to show your children and your family and your friends something, show them how they can let themselves off the hook and stop having sinner syndrome or guilt jail, and they don't even know they're in it.
Yeah. So I agree.
Yeah. So, Dr. Wolfe, can you give us do you have a main website that everybody could go to and then find everything, or is everything separate?
Well, they can go to docofdetox.com.
Okay.
Okay. But if they go to BHN app, they'll get the largest free self-care, self-love app on the world. And it does so much for you, you know? And then if you want to come to my courses, go to bhnuniversity.com. And just so you know this, everyone, all my courses are actually under the World Organization of Natural Medicine. So you can practice what you learn from us anywhere around the world.
Wow.
Yeah. Superb. Can you just tell me what the name of that app is again?
BraveHeartNationApp.com or bhnapp.com for short.
Okay.
That's it. That's perfect.
What I'm going to do is also, if you have time, go into my bhnapp.com and look at the first act of escapethematrixmovie.com, and you'll see what we did. We did our homework. It's a 3-hour documentary. I give a half an hour so everybody can get a taste if they want, but it's a 3-hour documentary that I really truly believe a 12-year-old's going to go, okay, I understand the planet I live on now. And you know what? Why shouldn't we let our children know that this is a life-threatening, but it could be a fun-filled adventure if you mind your own business and you understood that every government agent, okay, and almost every religion, okay, and almost every school was there to turn you into a slave.
Yeah. That
all right.
amazing. Yeah.
And so understand this, guys. The world is not lost. I just truly believe that, you know, if you are an eternal being, then game on. You know, either you're going to move to the next level, baby, or not. I don't believe in the hell stuff and the heaven stuff. Heaven and hell is right now. And you just, every thought you make creates an image, and every image you have creates a thought. And guess what? Most thoughts are rotting people out, okay? Because they actually believe in it. Think about it. Your family and friends, 99% of all their worries and fears never come true, and they repeat those over and over again. We have 70 to 90,000 thoughts a day. And guess what? For most people, they don't have a different thought. Not one different thought. They just keep on doing Groundhog Day and kicking the living crap out of themselves spiritually, emotionally, and mentally.
Yes.
So true.
Yeah. Well.
Wow. Well, I am definitely going to
download
that app.
Yeah,
I downloaded it already.
So, is there any parting thoughts, Dr. Wolfe?
Is there any what?
Any final thoughts you want to push out there? Advice to anyone, really? I mean, you've pretty much gone over it, really. But
well, here's one. It's short and it's sweet. You know what? Just walk around and say this. Okay. I am powerful, therefore I am fearless. Mm-hmm. And understand this, everyone. Every time that something makes you scared, only one out of 1,000 times is it actually true, and you should look at it. Okay, so your family, your lover, your government, your medical system, almost everybody on this planet uses fear on you to control you because they don't love themselves. That's the truth. Everybody's feeding off each other like a bunch of parasites. Until you have unconditional love for yourself and you watch and mind your own vibration, you're trying to steal the energy from everyone else.
Perfect.
Very true.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for
This
coming
has
on.
been wonderful. Thank you for taking the time to come on today. This is wow, a lot of information, but all very simple, right? It just comes down to one thing.
I can see you're a busy guy. I don't think we've had anyone touch their screen so much as we've been interviewing like that with stuff popping
Well,
up.
I apologize. I usually am smart enough to put it on do not disturb, but yeah, we've got a lot going on. I'm like, I just did 5 different documentaries in the last 2 weeks. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, all the documentaries that you do can be accessed from your site, right? Like everything you do, that's kind of the hub.
They'll go up. They go up there. It's called Evolve Library in my Braveheart Nation app.com. And we have the largest free masterclass library in the world. Okay.
Wow.
You know what? It's like this. People don't have value, so they won't spend anything on themselves because they were taught that they're not worthy. And I'm telling you right now, everyone, you deserve everything, but you will never have it until you vibrate at that level and lock in.
Exactly.
Amazing.
What a perfect place to leave it. Dr. Wolfe, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you. I thank you for having me. And you have a wonderful show, and thank the two of you. And may you have the best day of your life.
Yes, you too. God bless you always.
God bless the both of you for what you do.
Keep fighting the fight, sir. You as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. See you later.
See you, my.
Wow, that was intense.
Yes, definitely. Right, we're just going to finish off because we had some extremely sad news the other day that one of our fellow Patriots has passed away. So we just want to, Jordan Clark passed. It was about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, wasn't it, that we heard he was unwell and potentially gone into hospital and stuff. But
let's backtrack. During the Awakening Summit, he was having some issues. He was very, I think, in his own words, like filled with water. And this was apparently part of what he battled with his heart problem. So when he went back, everybody kind of dispersed. We all went home, so to speak, and everybody was missing him. We didn't know where he was. And then we found out he was in the hospital with his heart again, and I guess we weren't really getting any answers, right, Stu? Nobody was able to give us any answers.
Well, we didn't. Pretty much everyone sent him a message or a text of love and things like that, but we just didn't get a response, did we? So I think he must have been pretty poorly while he was in there.
And then we just found out, at least we did, I think through Donna. I know I got a text on Sunday, right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and then I let a few people know, and then everyone was posting it, and he's had so much love and support on Twitter and Telegram and everywhere else. It's another warrior we've lost in this fight, and Elisa and I were honoured to have him on our show. We were honoured to go on his show. The first time we were sitting together, actually, we were on a show together with Jordan when I came to America, and then us lot all meeting in person at the Awakening Summit is sort of like memories we will always cherish. But yeah, I just thought I won't get all these photos up, but it was amazing. This is Barry's website, by the way, who took all the photos. She's amazing. But that is a lovely picture there of all of us.
I mean, he was just the thing is, like, his videos and how he presented things, he did it whether he was talking about crypto or he was talking about, militarily what was happening. I thought he was one of truly the best teachers in the way he explained things and laid things out and provided information. He just had such an amazing way of whether you were in this for a very long time or you were a newcomer, right? It didn't matter. His stuff just was able to break through any unclarity you might have. He just was a very wonderful person, and he's going to be sorely, sorely missed.
Yeah, and I dug out one of his videos and I made a couple of posts with it. So I'm just going to play this.
Yeah,
it's 2 minutes long.
All right, so it blows my mind that you post a picture or you post something about being active in the gym. There's always somebody, some person that has to say something about, oh, there's no way your heart failed. There's no way you have this. You wouldn't be able to work out. Anyway, so here's the deal. The last thing you want to do when you have a diagnosis like heart failure is sit around and be complacent. And the most important thing you want to do is build that muscle back up. The only way to do that is to rest, work out slowly. I'm not in here lifting a lot of weights, guys. I'm not in here doing 2 hours of cardio. I'm in here doing 5-10 pounds, doing what I can. You slow, it's a progressional thing over time. You're working the muscle back up. But I'm telling you, man, it's such a relief to be filled with the blood of Jesus, to have faith in prayer, and every day be able to have the opportunity to come into the gym and do what you love, know what you're doing, listening to your body, being able to recover, and literally defeating the devil and looking him in the eyes and saying, you will not defeat me. That is the greatest feeling in the world. So I encourage everyone out there right now, start working out while you can. Don't wait for a diagnosis. Your body, your health, it's your wealth. You only get one shot at it. But for everyone out there that accuses me that I didn't have heart failure or don't have these complications, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. But, I love proving people wrong. So, anyways, guys, a little update. Things are going in the right direction. It seems we're just going to keep moving forward. Love y'all.
He fought till the end. He was down in the dumps about a lot of things, not being able to do what he wanted to do, but he was always positive, faithful in his relationship with Christ, still putting the truth out there. It was like he was a very tired man a lot of the time, wasn't he? But when he came in onto the front of the camera or got up on stage, it's like he came alive.
He really did.
He did that till the end, and that's fucking fair play, Jordan. You will be sorely missed by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we will fight on regardless, in your honour and all the others we've lost. And let's hope we see the end of it before too long, or the start of the end. Yeah.
I loved everything that Dr. Wolfe said. I truly did. And my goodness, does he offer a lot at no charge for people. So I would definitely suggest everybody go on. But one thing I don't know how I feel is that I believe that God is going to win this, and that as bad as it is and as terrible as it is, I don't think the entity, anything is stronger than God. So I think if we rally with love and faith in God, I don't think we're going to stay in this hellish, horrible prison we've been in. But
no, look, God wins. I think Q-Team wins. I think things are under control. We have said on so many shows that we are going to potentially see a scare event, a big false flag, precipice moment, near-death experience. You know what I mean? He was talking about the worst banking collapse we've ever seen, but I think we're going to see a banking collapse, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think it's going to be a flip into a new system, however long it's going to take. But we have got potentially a little bit of a rocky road ahead of us. But it doesn't matter who you speak to. Dr. Wolfe now, I've said many times, as I have you, whoever your God is, get yourself right with God. Darrell Wolfe was saying exactly the same. Get your mindset right. Get your body right. Love yourself. Yeah? You know what I mean? And certain things. He's like saying, fuck everyone else. Just take care of yourself. Well, I believe that, but then I've taken care of myself mentally and physically, not perfectly physically, but to be on that much of a level where I can spend my time doing everything I'm doing to help everyone else around me at the same time. And I will continue to do that.
Yeah, we will.
You know, what we're doing here, and the messages we get and the people that come on our Saturday family chat keeps me in a high vibration, because I know you and I, Lisa, are helping people all the time, you know, and everyone in the chat and people that are trying to wake everyone up and spread information about and all this stuff. We're all on this God's army together.
We are.
117%. Yeah.
So, want to look at our week? We got a pretty.
Yeah, you can look at that. I have got an outro for Jordan. We've played it before, but it's one of his favourites that he's pinned on his. I think it's pinned on his Twitter. But yeah, go for it.
Okay, so we've got, as per usual, our midweek medals with Matt. So that's tomorrow at 12 Eastern and 5 UK.
Hold up, you've just gone a bit stuttery.
What happened?
Hold up, you've gone a bit stuttery and you're not in time now. You're not in sync.
You know, I don't know what's going on. I noticed with Dr. Wolfe.
Just go out and come back in quickly.
Go out and come in? Okay, we'll do.
Yeah. And then I shall leave you in suspense for a little minute, because I don't want to take over what she was doing. But we have got Matt Geiger tomorrow. Let's see if that's any better. Now,
is that better?
That's much better. Now, Matt Geiger, Wednesday.
Yes. So we've got Matt Geiger tomorrow. We said that. And then Thursday, we've got our Thursday Thunder. And that's going to be 10 a.m. instead of 10:30, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. UK. We've got Matrix Codebreaker.
Matrix Codebreaker.
Yes.
That's
going to be fun. That's going to be really fun. And then Friday, we are back to Red Pilling Renee in the morning for Eastern United States, 8 a.m. And what is that, 1 o'clock your time, Stu?
Yeah.
Yep. And then we're back with Jason at 12:30 Eastern, 5:30 UK. And we're back to our family chat on Saturday. This is going to be our 11th. Wow.
It is episode 11, yeah. So anyone in the chat, do come join us.
Please do. And then we've got a special for anybody who wants to tune in. We're going to be on is it Truth Teller Tales, or is it her other branded show?
No, it's Labour of Love.
Labor of Love, but it's under the network Truth Teller Tales.
Yeah, on Ellen Pepper's channel.
Yes.
And she's doing a show where she's going to get a load of us on, and because it's 11 o'clock for me, I have asked, can I come on somewhere near the front? But she said that's absolutely fine. So I think she's going to get people on one at a time, right, throughout the show. Okay. And she's doing a tribute to Jordan Clark. So Elisa and I hopefully will be on that somewhere near the start. So that's 6 p.m.
Definitely
American,
Eastern.
6 p.m. Eastern, and 11 o'clock UK. And that's it. Look, everyone, thank you for joining us again. Dr. Darrell Wolfe there, brilliant. Love his passion. And get yourself right mentally if you can, people, and love, not fear. But we're going to play out this little video for Jordan, which, sums him right up and sums a lot of us up that are fighting in this army, whether you've got a massive voice or a small voice, or just, in the chat or doing what you're doing or everything. I'm a soldier.
So remember to love yourself.
Love yourself, people. Love, not fear. Because fear is something that people get themselves in a state about that 99% of the time never ever happens. Yeah. Deal with it at the time. Live in love, right? And the time is now. And where we go, when we go all, and we're all soldiers. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
I am a soldier in the army of my God. The Lord Jesus Christ is my commanding officer. The Holy Bible is my code of conduct. Faith, prayer, and the Word are my weapons of warfare. I have been taught by the Holy Spirit, trained by experience, tried by adversity, and tested by fire. I am a volunteer in this army. I am enlisted for eternity. I will not get out, sell out, be talked out, or pushed out. I am a soldier. I am not a baby. I do not need to be pampered, petted, primed up, pumped up, picked up, or pepped up, because I am a soldier. No one has to call me, remind me, write me, visit me, entice me, or lure me, because I am a soldier. No one has to send me flowers, gifts, food, cards, candy, or give me handouts. I do not need to be cuddled, cradled, cared for, or catered to. I am committed. I am a soldier. I cannot be discouraged enough to turn me aside. I cannot lose enough to cause me to quit. I will win. I am more than a conqueror. I will always triumph. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthen me. Devils cannot defeat me. People cannot disillusion me. Weather cannot weary me. Sickness cannot stop me. Battles cannot beat me. Money cannot buy me. Governments cannot silence me. And hell cannot handle me. I am a soldier. Even death cannot destroy me. For when my commander calls me from this battlefield, he will promote me to captain and then allow me to rule with him. I am a soldier in the army. I am marching. I am claiming victory. I will not give up. I will not turn around. I am a soldier